Hey fam, welcome back. It is your favorite life and relationship strategist. I'm your girl MarshaunO. Thanks so much for coming back to watch another one of my videos. So I had someone write into me and ask me how can they become their spouse's best friend. I'm sure that some of you out there have been wondering this, and I wanted to come here and answer this question today. These are some of the steps, some of the tips, some of the tools, some of the ways that you can become your partner's, your spouse's best friend. So have you ever actually thought about your life when you are having, or when you have a best friend in your life? Doesn't it seem like your life is that much more fun? It's that much more complete. You guys are able to laugh and joke about any and everything. You're just there for one another. Literally, when you have something that you want to share and showcase, who is the first person that comes to your mind? It's usually your best friend. So as we're growing up, we have best friends in like the kindergarten or elementary years. We have best friends in the junior high years. We have best friends in high school. We have best friends in college, or maybe the military, or even a trade school that has now grown with us for many years. And some of those stages, that person could be the exact same person. But I know personally for me, I had best friends when I was in junior high and in high school. And although I still call them best friends sometimes, really it is a matter of who's been there for me at that particular stage. Are we still talking? Are we still keeping in contact with one another? Do they really know the deep intricacies of my life now where I'm at? And so the only person that I could totally think about is my husband. So I never really thought about it until this very moment that he is my best friend. And so I just wanted to give you guys some hope, especially for you guys out there who are trying to do this or create this best friend atmosphere in your relationship, that it totally can happen. There are plethora of things that come into place, but today I have what do I have, like about six of them for you today. So I just want to make sure that I come here and share them with you, because yes, it is important, and it is something that will make your relationship that much stronger. But without further ado, let me just go ahead and jump into the very first thing, which is to be open and honest in your conversation about any and everything. You guys know that I talk about having the tough conversations all the time, just being open to listening to what your spouse or what your partner has to say. And then they also need to be open and honest with you with what they need to say, as well as you listening to what they need to say as well. And just being open to having the discussion. I didn't say that you have to agree with it, but I am saying that you have to be open to actually having that specific talk. Because just because they're your spouse, just like with your best friend, you didn't always agree with your childhood best friend. You didn't always agree with what your childhood or with your college roommate was doing, who happened to be your best friend. You didn't always agree with that stuff. And that is going to be the same thing that happens in your relationship. You're not always going to agree 100% with what your spouse does or even what they say. But you can respectfully be open enough to have the conversation, be open enough to communicate, and just be honest about your feelings. And then you guys can literally just agree to disagree, but be open and have honest conversations as much as possible. Doesn't matter what the topic is. I say that often, so I'm gonna say it here again. Does not matter what the topic is. Be open to having that conversation, and then being honest about what you think and feel about said conversation as well. That matters as well. The second thing that I want to bring to your attention is making sure that you guys are spending lots of quality time together. Remember, when you decided that your best friend was going to be your best friend in childhood and college, throughout your life, you spent a lot of time with them. Y'all had a lot of fun memories. Y'all had a lot of laughs. Y'all had a lot of things in common. Y'all just talked about a lot of things. That is no different when you are creating the atmosphere where your spouse is now going to be your best friend. You guys need to spend a lot of quality time together. That does not include you guys just being in the same household or in the same room together. No, it means putting away your devices, literally carving out time to just laugh and joke, maybe watch a movie, have an open, honest discussion, a conversation, just being there with one another in the moment. Dating, I'm gonna put dating in here too. Dating, just having fun. Even if it's family time, you guys are spending loads of time together. You guys are creating lots of happy times together. You guys are creating lots of memories together. This is another way that where your spouse is going to become your best friend. You guys are spending lots of quality, notice, quality time together, not just time together, quality time together, where you're happy most of the time, where you guys are laughing and joking most of the time, and you guys are just able to converse, go back and forth, even stay up at all hours of the night. Trust me, remember when you had your favorite girlfriend, your favorite guy friend, y'all was up at all hours of the night, sneaking on the phone. It wasn't text back in my day. It was sneaking on the phone, where you turn the ringer off and then you dial a number. And then I had one of those clear phones. We had one of those clear phones in my household, in our room. And anyway, my point is, we would turn the ringer off, and I didn't want to go to sleep, but I also didn't want my parents to know that the phone was ringing. So because the phone was clear and it lit up, I was able to see that the phone was ringing. But we snuck and did that, right? Am I alone? Was I the only one that was sneaking on the phone when my mom told me to go to bed? I'm sure I was not. So with that being said, we spent a lot of time. We had even when the night ended, we didn't want it to end, which is why we were still sneaking and keeping and staying up all hours of the night, just talking and talking and talking and talking. With your best friend, you don't get tired of them. You really do not get tired of your best friend. You like, when they are not there, and this is not even on my notes, when your best friend is not there, you lightweight lost. You lightweight lost when your best friend is not there for you. So spending lots of quality time with your friends. And then the next thing is to think about what you want in a best friend. Write it down if you must, and then become that person. Because the people that you are always around are going to be the things that you pick up and that you're going to do with them. And I can even tell you, even my relationship, like some of the sayings that I say, or some of the things that I do all the time, because I'm the jovial, I'm the joker, I am the silly one in my relationship. My husband's the serious one, but I can totally see some of my mannerisms, some of the things that I say, my phrases, he has absolutely picked up on them. And now he says them himself. So my point is, if I don't want my husband to be a yeller at me, then I can't be a yeller at him. If I don't want my husband to call me out of my name, I can't call him out of his name. If I want him to be respectful toward me, then I need to be respectful toward him, right? It's really going to be reciprocate. How you act in your relationship is really how your partner is going to respond to you. Not that that's right, because somebody has to be the mature one. But in the majority of these relationships, we have two immature people doing mature things in these relationships, in these marriages, in these engagements. So if you really are trying to make and create your best friend to be your spouse, then you literally have to be the person that you want your best friend to be. So again, write down the qualities that you want to have in a best friend. Check off the ones that you already have. Work on the ones that you do not have. And at some point, your spouse for sure is going to start picking up on those very qualities that you really want to see in your spouse. But you have to be the change that you want to see in your spouse. You have to start doing that stuff beforehand. All right? So make sure that you are becoming that very thing that you want your spouse to be. Then you also want to stand by his or her side no matter what, through thick and thin. Sickness and in health, rich or poor, better or worse. I talked about better or worse. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you checked out better or worse video. Right? But that's another way. That's another way. Standing by your spouse's side through thick and thin, no matter what. Don't be out there in the streets talking bad about your spouse, or letting anybody else talk about your spouse and then you agreeing with them. No. They don't have that right. And they're only doing that because you're allowing that. That's another video. So I'm going to get back to that. But stand by your spouse's side through thick and thin. I don't care if they're wrong in the moment. You guys can have a conversation about it and quote unquote correct them later on. But don't be out there with your friends letting them talk bad about your spouse and then you in agreement with it. That is totally wrong, and it is being disrespectful. So, side note, okay? Another thing that you can do to make sure or to create that your relationship with your spouse and he becomes your best friend or she becomes your best friend is to serve your spouse even before yourself. I don't care what gender. I don't care what gender. If you're thinking about going to get you a glass of water or a glass of wine or a beer, and especially if you know that this is something that they like as well, ask them if they want one while you're already up. It's very, very simple. If you're going to make you a plate of food, baby, you want a plate of food? You can serve them and then you can get yours. I know that these are simplistic things, but serving is period. It could be, you know what? I'm actually about to make me a peanut butter slice of bread with just peanut butter on it. Yeah, baby, do you want one? Again, these is especially if you know that your spouse already likes these things. Got clothes at the dry cleaner, stop at the dry cleaner and get them, so they don't have to worry about them. Text them and let them know, baby, I already picked up your clothes. Like, whatever. You get what I'm saying? Just serve your spouse. Think about your spouse. Put your spouse before you. And if you both are doing that, you guys cannot help but win. If your spouse is putting you ahead of him, in my case, let me talk about me. If my husband is putting me ahead of him, and if I'm putting my husband ahead of me, then we're both looking out for one another. We cannot help but to win. We cannot help but to cultivate and create a best friendship. We can't help it. Because I like you. I love you. I want to see you do good. I want to be there for you. I want to service you because I know that this is going to make you happy. This is going to make you thrive. And because it's making you thrive, it's also making me thrive. It's all coming full circle though. All coming full circle, right? So put your spouse and serve your spouse before yourself. And then another thing that you can do is just make sure that you are being their biggest supporter, their biggest motivator, no matter what. Like, I didn't say that you have to agree with that newest adventure that they're out there doing. But if you don't believe in your spouse, maybe your words are what's actually holding them back from moving forward because they don't really believe that they can actually do it. And now here come your words, your sarcasm, your jokes. And they like, well, maybe I really can't do it. So you never know if your words are actually going to boost your spouse's actions or make them put whatever creative idea that they had back into their pocket, back into that drawer of creativity of things that they never work on. I didn't say that you have to agree with it. I'm saying be their motivator. Be there to support them. Whether you understand, say it thing or not, doesn't matter. Yes. The last thing, you guys know that I'm a Christian. As much as possible, pray for your spouse. Pray for your marriage. Pray for your relationship. Pray for your children. Pray for your jobs. Pray for your careers. Pray for that next goal. Pray for that next client. As much as possible, pray, 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 pray. Pray for your relationship. Pray together. Praying together means staying together. And it's something about prayer. This really is just a side note. It's something about prayer in your relationship when you really do take it serious and then you guys are praying together, especially after an argument or a tough conversation. There's disagreement right there. And you're like, you know what? You hear your partner praying and they're specifically praying about you two. And you can hear the vulnerability in the voice. And you can sense, he got my back. She got my back. Pray as much as possible. Now, these are the 7 tips on how to create and cultivate a best friendship with friendship with your spouse. Is there something else that you can add to the conversation? I definitely want to know what you have to say down in the comment section below, and I will talk to you guys very, very soon. If you need any help with your relationship and you want to take your relationship to the next level, reach out to your girl. I am your girl, MarshaunO. I will talk to you guys very soon. Very, very soon. I will talk to you guys very soon. Deuces.